for future network management, especially when it comes to wireless networks, and having in mind that most of the next billion of users will be connected through wireless and mobile networks. The second one was back to the principles that have already been discussed in the earlier years of non-discrimination, transparency, choice of services on the internet that we are using. The third one was the notion of new business models, especially mentioned also in the Google Verizon policy proposal, where certain new services, advanced services might be prioritized, yet the business noted that this would not impact the internet as we know, so that would be an additional service. It is still more to be discussed on how it's going to go, and there is a special concern of the developing world when it comes to the investments which are needed from the business on one hand, and on the other hand of the innovations from small business that might emerge in developing countries, and then freedom of choice, especially having in mind high prices and small limited bandwidth in developing countries. The fourth topic was how to do that. Transparency was definitely widely mentioned as a key point. Definition of transparency is something we still have to work on. And there were two different approaches. One was mostly suggested by business, which is competition and case-by-case resolution of problems. On the other hand, by the regulators who mentioned that the soft law might be the best way, which is basically the coordination of the stakeholders to reach the principles that all should respect, and that can be guided by the regulators as the safeguards. The concerns of people from developing countries was that the pure competition-based regulation of network management may not always be best, because competition is not always available, especially in developing countries. And the last point was future steps, that we need more formal participation from people from developing world to raise their concerns about the, network management and network neutrality, and we've heard very good, valuable inputs yesterday. I think they were helpful for the business sector as well. Then maybe the panels next year might be divided. Maybe we can have more panels and give more focus to technical, economical, and user choice aspects. And lastly, that we should continue with discussions in between the forums, including the regional forums, of course. And one of the invitations was also on behalf of Diplo, which I stand for, to continue discussion at discuss.diplomacy.edu. That's it for the panel.
Thank you very much. I think you've provided us with some really interesting points for discussion there. So let's try and pick them out.